there's certain things you just don't ask. And I feel that it's not, I tweeted it, I said, I don't respect that.
Pro boxing fans here at the Alexander Palace with none other than Tunde Ajayi. Tunde, how you doing, mate? You alright?
You see, I didn't. I punched the mic. That shows you how eager I am for Anthony Yarde to get back in the ring.
Let's talk about why we're here first of all. The Haringey Box Cup, something that Anthony Yarde has been part of in the past. Very well known, you know, famous around with a lot of fighters. A lot of fighters that have become elite. Anthony Joshua, Katie Taylor, Nicola Adams did what she did in the Olympics. But just talk to me about the history of this cup.
Well, you know, the Haringey Box Cup it's a competition which I've seen grown over the years. I mean, going even 7 years back. Anthony Yarde, Ben Whittaker, so many, as you said, AJ. So many fighters have come, and I feel like it's very important to always support these kind of causes. You know, whether they become superstars or not, there's always a star. And the Haringey Box Cup, historically, has always shown us the potential stars of the future.
Let's talk about Anthony Yarde. A lot of people, I saw him out at your call, never got to actually speak to him because I was quite busy and we never crossed paths. But a lot of people want to know now, when is he out? You know, he's on the radar of a lot of fans. A lot of people want to see him fight, and a lot of fighters are looking out for him as well. Yeah,
well, you know, Anthony's Mr. Excitement. You know, and when he fights, he brings the energy that I don't feel any other light heavyweight or not many fighters in this country bring. You know, he's an electric fighter, someone that always brings total enjoyment for fans. In terms of the date, you know what I always say, Frankie Blue Eyes, Mr. Frank Warren, and George and Francis, they'll be announcing something very soon. And I've spoken to the matchmaker. So yeah, so I feel that, again, we've never ever spoke before the time. The date is nigh, let's say that. The date is nigh, and Frank is going to make that announcement, hopefully next week.
Okay, good. Do you want to talk about Artur Beterbiev? Obviously, your last opponent, the former opponent of yourself. You've seen a lot of him now in that ring. He's going to be fighting Callum Smith in Quebec, Canada. Talk to me about that fight. Do you feel like Callum Smith has the skill set, has what it takes to beat Artur Beterbiev?
Absolutely. I mean, this is boxing. You know, Callum Smith is a former unified super middleweight, coming from a historic family, a generational family of boxing. Stephen, Liam, Paul, and I think Callum being the youngest of those, not only has the experience to hold on to, but he can fight. He can fight, and I said it in the boxing news and I say it again, I give Callum Smith all the chance in the world, because Beterbiev is not getting any younger. He's just been in arguably the hardest fight of his career with Anthony Yarde. Tremendous fight. Punches, level was thrown. It was a back and forth, and you know, at that age, you know, closing in to 40 years of age, things don't get easier. And I know that Mark Ramsey is taking this one very serious. He's actually, the other fighters that he looks after, he said he can't look after them for this fight. That's how serious Beterbiev and his team are taking it. So I give Callum a good shot. You know, he's moved up from super middle to the light heavyweight division, and he's done that successfully. But this is going to be a tough fight, because that brother, sorry, Artur Beterbiev, like Anthony Yarde, is a machine. Very focused, very disciplined, and his record speaks for itself. 19-0 with 19 KOs.
A lot of people are talking about a Bivol-Beterbiev fight. Bivol's trying to push for the fight. Whatever reason, politically, it doesn't seem to be happening. WBC saying they're not going to sanction the fight because they've got this rule in place in regards to Russian fighters. That's another topic for another day. But if they were to fight, Bivol and Beterbiev, how would that fight play out in your eyes?
Well, let's see how the Callum Smith fight goes. But I'm going to have to say Beterbiev. I have to say Beterbiev. I just think that he's so technical, and I really feel that you still haven't seen the best of that guy. You know, I knew going into the fight with us that he's got underrated footwork, very cerebral fighter as well as a dynamite puncher. We know what Bivol is, fleet-footed, 1,000 punches, but I feel that in the latter stage of the Canelo fight, you know, you can't be laying up on the ropes against Beterbiev. He just punches too hard, and I feel that that fight may come down to the power. Great fight, great fight. I would say Bivol's the fresher of the two, because I'm telling you, that last fight with Anthony Yarde, that's taken something out of him. It has to. It has to have taken something. We haven't seen Bivol in a real hard fight yet. He's coasted it. He's made everything look easy. But it's a great fight, one I look forward to, and if I can get to that fight, I'll be ringside, and Anthony Yarde will be fighting the winner.
Final one before I let you go. You touched with it when I was interviewing Ade Oladipo. The whole thing with Simon Jordan and Talksport and Chris Eubank Sr. You're very vocal online on social media. A lot of people have talked about that as well and voiced their opinion on that clip. Is there anything else you want to add to that in regards to how that Simon Jordan and Jim White asked the question to Chris Eubank Sr., which is what your objection was initially?
No, not really. I mean, Simon and Jim are two of the most articulate, fruitful and brilliant interviewers today. Whether people they say they don't have a history in boxing, which gives them a right to be so opinionated, I still feel they're great interviewers. But I feel that interviewing has its line. I feel who's ever writing the script for these guys, there's certain things you just don't ask. And I feel that it's not, I tweeted it, I said, I don't respect that. I don't respect the fact that you're putting a man who's obviously going through now a very traumatic period of his life, whereby he's lost one son and he's at odds with the other son. And so to be asked to call your son a charlatan, you need to Google that word. That's a serious word. And you know, I just feel that you shouldn't be put in a position publicly where you have to really disrespect your own son, your own flesh and blood, someone that you've watched growing up from the very beginning. That's wrong. There has to be some moralistic standpoint when interviewing people. And this is why, when you watched our interview with Chris Eubanks on The Fight Is Right with Spencer Fearon and myself, we showed the best part of Chris, a part that nobody has seen from Chris since he's been going through that. You see him banging tables like he was in a domino club in Peckham. It was great. It was great to see that, and this has happened twice now. Chris has been on The Fight Is Right twice, and then Talksport have got him into the studio, you know, a week or two after, and really it's just painting him in a totally different picture as to the one that was on The Fight Is Right. And again, I was upset about that, but I'm not going to start saying Simon Jordan. Simon Jordan's brilliant for boxing. He's brilliant for boxing because he puts you on the spot in an articulate manner that if you ain't on your game, you look silly. That's why when he messaged me on Twitter, I was like, no, you're not getting me into that, mate. I don't do Twitter beefs or wars. I'm like, post and go, post and run down Peckham High Street. I'm not in it. I just don't want no, especially not with Simon Jordan and Jim White. But I feel that both of them know as well. It was a bit below the belt, and all I'm saying is I wish Chris Eubanks all the best. He's done a lot for British boxing. He's an icon of the sport, and but he's going through things. I think any person, any individual, any human being who's been through so much trauma in the last couple of years shouldn't be asked to call his son a charlatan live on air.
I get that. Cool. Tunde, I've taken up a lot of your time. I'm sure you're here to watch a few fights and just wander about and see what's going on. Thank you so much for talking to me, as usual. Thank you very much for talking to Pro Box fan Tunde Ajayi. Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Peace up. That's too long. You know, people's attention spans are not like it used to be. You got to piece it. You got to have 2-part, like a 3-part special. All right, bro. Take care. Thank you.